Hey everybody, this is Tank and Trucker, and today we're going to do the review of the new KV-122. Couldn't think what it was for a second there. It's a new premium they just released. Well, actually, they put it in the advent calendar yesterday for like $57.99. It's like 60 bucks. And it came with a tank and some gold in the garage slot and gun rammer, gun lane drive, and vents. But I waited till today to get it for, it was like $27.99, 30 bucks. So I didn't need all the other stuff. I mean, I already had plenty of gold and, credits. It's always nice to have extra gold and credits, but, I didn't feel like spending 60 bucks on it. I'm really hoping that the next couple days they have, like, literally brand new tanks. I mean, this is pretty much a cut and paste, um, well, IS-2 looks just about exactly like it, and KV-85 looks a lot like that. It's pretty much just a cut and paste. They put a couple things here on the side to get the log on the side and toolbox and whatever that is. And it's got the 4 fuel tanks on this side. I mean, if you already got the IS-2, basically the IS-2 is Tier 7 also. You do get a little better armor on the IS-2. You get 190-60 on the hull and 190-90 on the turret. And on the KV-122, you get 70-60-60 on the hull and 190-90 on the turret. So you get a little better armor on the IS-2. Aim time, gun handling and everything is pretty much almost identical. I think the IS-2 has a little bit better gun handling. But it's alright. But, I buy all the tanks in the game. So basically, I do it because, one, I collect the tanks, so the game better be around for a whole long time, as much money as I've sunk into it. And also, I buy them also so I can do reviews on them for you guys, because I've had 2 matches in this, and I'll play both matches for you guys. And, to be honest with you, I might not run it for several months, if not longer than that. Some people see it as a waste of money, but I don't, because, for one, I enjoy playing tanks, and it's nice to be able to just snag one out of the garage one day and use it if I haven't used it in a while for, if we have a clan war match or something. So it's just nice for somebody to say, hey, we need this tank. Anybody got it? Oh, yep, I do. I think I got 407. Well, let me look right down here. It doesn't show you down here anymore. I think I've got 470 tanks in my 470 tanks in my garage as of right now. But so let's do a review. I guess Tank and Trucker Jr. here wants to be in the video, so she's kind of creeping in here a little bit. So let's do a review on it. So basically, you get 1,200 hit points for a Tier 7, which, like the IS-2, you get 80 hit points more. So it's a pretty comparable. I mean, it's about what you're going to get for a Tier 7 heavy. And we already went over the armor on it. You got 75 on the front, 60 on the sides, and 60 in the rear on the hull. And then on the turret, you have 100 in the front, 90 on the side, 90 in the rear. And, yeah, it'll bounce some on the hull if you're angled. I mean, you got to be pretty much angled perfect. Then you'll, have a good chance of, bouncing around here and there. But for the most part, pretty much quite a bit of stuff can go through you pretty easy, because 75 millimeters of, even angled on a, a nice 45, that can still go through, or they'll go right through your road wheels. So, hull armor's not the best, but it's workable. And so let's go over the gun now. It comes with a 122 millimeter D25T, pretty much standard 122 gun that comes on all your Russian heavy tanks. And your rate of fire is 4.51. Average pen is your crappy 175 with the standard AP, 217 with the APCR, and 61 with the HE. It's basically the same gun that's on your IS-6 and whatnot. 390 average damage for your AP and your APCR, and 530 on your HE. Average damage per minute, 1759. Dispersion is 0.46, which really sucks. And your aim time is 3.2, which really sucks also. So, the way I set it up was with a gun rammer, gun lane drive, and vents. I used anything and everything I could to help with the aim time, anything to do with the gun handling on this, because it was kind of horrendous. So, with mine, the way it's set up, I went ahead and bumped the crew up to 100%, and I've had 2 battles, and I've already got them up to 44% on their first skill, so looks like it's going to go up pretty quick there. So let's go over what the stats are the way I have it set up. My rate of fire is 5.35 rounds a minute. Reload time is horrendously long, 11.2 seconds. Traverse is 34.13. Between that and your traverse speed of your hull of 42.67, that's not too bad. You know, if you get a medium that's pretty fast, you might be able to keep up with it, but it can be iffy. Gun depression of a -6, elevation of 20. So ridge lines, you can work them. It's not that easy. You really got to, you know, maneuver your hull around to get that gun down, but it is doable. Aim time is 2.73, and that's with my vents on here and the gun lane drive. Dispersion at 100 meters is 0.43. Definitely not a sniper. This is a close to medium range tank. You know, you're gonna want your rounds to count, because at a long range, well, if RNG's on your side, you might get lucky and get a nice shot in there. But otherwise, they tend to fling everywhere, but where you're aiming. We already went over the hit points and your hull armor and stuff. Weight is 47.2 tons. So, yeah, you know, you can bash into somebody and get a ram kill on. I think I actually, in one of the replays, rammed somebody with it and kill them. 700 horsepower engine. Specific power to weight ratio is 14.83, so not too shabby, but not too good. It's kind of mediocre. I mean, when you hit a hill, it slows down quite a bit. On straightaways and downhill, you will get up to your 42 kilometers an hour, and you get 14 in reverse. So for a heavy, it does, I won't say it's super nimble, but it'll get you around the battlefield, you know, pretty good. Already went over the traverse. Concealment for heavy 8.9, pretty standard. Spotting is, mine's up to 371. When I first got it, it was at 360, so I had 2 battles and it bumped it up to 371. Signal range is 449, which is actually pretty piss poor for a tier 7 heavy. I mean, most of them now, when they're coming out of the premium, you know, you get them out of the premium shop or you research them, it's giving you a tier 9 and tier 10 radio. This, let's look at it and see what it has for a radio, because that can't be a tier 9 or 10, not for that little. Yeah, it's a tier 7 radio. So your radio on this is kind of trash, but, you know, so kind of stick around with, you know, other heavies if possible. I mean, just don't get caught out there with your butt in the wind. So do I recommend buying this tank? Well, myself, I buy them all, but if, you know, I had your wallet, your money, it's really hard to say. If you already have the IS-2 or the stock or the IS that you can research in the game, personally, I wouldn't get it. It's nothing spectacular. I mean, I get them all because, you know, I like to have all the tanks in my garage. It's nice to have all the special ones. I mean, you can live without it, to be honest with you. There's nothing real substantially that would make it really stick out and me want to say, yeah, definitely spend the $30 on the tank. Gun handling is really mediocre to crappy. Your armor is mediocre to kind of crappy. The only thing it really has going for it, it's got some decent speed for a heavy. Even when you angle it at a 45, a lot of times you'll get penned. I mean, this one here, I'm gonna have to leave in your ball. You know, the answer to that question, if it's worth getting, that's going to be completely up to you. If you got an extra $30 laying around, and you want a tank to make some extra credits, it does make good credits, I'll give it that, then yeah, I would do it. But if I've already got the IS in my garage, if I were you, or the KV-3, or even the IS-2, the other premium, then I would save your money. Who knows, maybe the advent calendar, we got a couple days left on there. I'm hoping, because so far I've had every tank except for this one on the advent calendar. I actually stuck a little money aside for thinking that when the advent calendar came out, they were going to have some real new special tanks that I've never seen before, and I was getting all excited. And so far, till the KV-122, I've had every one of the tanks already purchased. So I'm really hoping today's the 22nd, and we get the 23rd, 24th, and 25th. Was it? I think it goes up to the 25th, so there's 3 more days in the advent calendar. So really, really, really hoping they throw one out there that's really new and neat and no one's seen before. It'd be nice. I know on the RU server, I believe it was, they had somebody on their advent calendar or something. They had a new German tank destroyer, and it looked pretty good. Really nice reload on the gun, very kind of inaccurate. It's just that was a German one. So now maybe that, God, it's been a while since I saw that video. It was a couple days ago. So yeah, maybe that one was the one that had the good rate of fire, good gun handling. Most German guns do, but you get your handful that suck. But anyways, if you go ahead and wait just for a second, I'll be back, and we will go ahead and do. I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 replays on this tank for you, and maybe that'll help you determine whether or not you want to get her. Alrighty, for our first map, we're on a highway, and I purposely brought no APCR rounds. That way I only had AP and HE. No, not really. I forgot to load APCR. When I bought the tank, I completely forgot to change my loadout, and I brought literally no premium rounds. Which actually was kind of nice, because that way you could see the capability of this gun with just crappy 175 pen. And of all the tanks that I run into, I run right into the Oni in the city. And 175 pen, do you think it's going to go through the front of that thing? Not even close. I even put one in the side of his frickin' turret, and it bounced. And I really thought that one was going to pen. But no, thanks for getting my way there, M6. Jeez. Some people, I tell you. But anyways, I did run into their T-29 and took him from full health and killed him. And that was all with standard rounds, but I was able also to hit him every time right in his front lower plate, and took 3 shots to kill him. I ended up doing like a little over 2,000 damage on this match. And this is what I was telling you, when you're going up a hill with this, it I'm outrunning the regular IS, but the specific power to weight ratio it's kind of so-so. Not the worst, not the best, but I'm still able to outrun the IS there, going up the hill. But obviously he's got better armor than me, so he's a little bit heavier, and I can't remember if that's got the same 700 horsepower. I believe it does. It might be about the same size engine in that thing. But once you hit some nice pavement, you can cook right along. But I get over here and I pre-aim in on that corner where everybody comes around on their heavies. And I'll give the guy in the T-29 credit. He did try to side scrape. I don't know. I'm running vanilla. We're going to be doing the Silver League. And you have to run vanilla. So I took all my mods off, and which kind of sucks. So I hit him for the first round with 412. So got a decent penetration there, and did 412. Average damage is 390. So he's down to 830 hit points. So he came out to like he was going to side scrape. 376, so that was a crappy low roll. But then he didn't have his gun pointing this way. He was pointing still at the building. He got rolled out, backed up, and then turned his turret over this way. I'm like, so I was a little confused. I don't know, maybe he was new to tanks and he's just learning how to side scrape, but he's in a clan. He was clanned up with the other IS and Oni on the enemy team. So I figured, he's down to, how many hit points does he have left? 462. So 390 average damage. I was doing a little bit of a risky thing here, hoping that I got a nice high roll, and somebody hit him right before I did, so I was able to finish him off. Then I pop around the corner, and guess who? The Oni, and he just whacks me for 988 hit points of my lovely health. Now I aimed for that turret there, didn't pen it, and showed green like it was going to pen, but then it didn't. But he was coming forward, so I knew I need to get the hell out of Dodge. So I figured I'm going to try and help him get rid of that IS up here. He's not full health, but he's only been hit once. But get a shot in there, and I didn't want that Oni to come around and smoke me. But this is the T-29, this IS, and the Oni were the 3 that were teamed up. I was able to get rid of him. And I thought, you know what? I can definitely pen the ass of that Oni. So I'm going to come around the backside of him. The only bad thing is when you do that, you got to watch up this road right here, because you get tank destroyers and Other tanks are set up that way, and they shoot at you as you come down the road. So there, Oni's going around the corner, and sure enough, there's a VK3001D, and it doesn't hit for a whole lot, but you know it hits for enough. So I figured I'm gonna start wiggling and moving and jiving, and so I hit him in the keister, but he knocked my track off when he was backing into me. Now this round, I could have swore it was gonna go through. At that angle, I thought, no problem. Nope. Sweet sayonara, my track. I don't think I even used my repair kit, but it wasn't even worth trying to fix it because I knew he was loaded, and even if I got it fixed, the chances of me getting down behind in that corner again were probably, I'd have been better off playing the lottery. So the M6 comes around the corner, and he gets, he's the next victim of the Oni, the old Derpinator gun. And the IS, you know, I told him, I'm like, dude, you're not going to pen the Oni from the front, even with premium rounds, because I think it gets the same 217 penetration for his rounds. I'm like, you can see me saying, get on his ass. You know, you can't pen him from the front. There, right there, you will not pen him from the front. I told him, and he keeps trying to shoot him from the front. So the Oni blows him right in the face and knocks him down to 138 hit points. I would love to know where he did aim to actually penetrate him, because he did pen him from the front, but all I can think of is he was got those two, and I told him good job. I really couldn't believe he penned him, but where it's got the two R2D2s, all I can think of is he hit it at an angle like that, where instead of straight on, like where I hit him straight on, and it wouldn't go through, at the angle maybe he was able to go through. But we go on to win this match. It was a close one. I was kind of like, oh crap. And here goes that 300D. And I was telling the IS this whole time, I'm like, dude, the VK is behind you. VK is behind you. And I'm clicking on the map, you know, where he's at. So I go on, I'm watching the IS. And I don't know if this guy was kind of new to tanks too, and or if he says mini map shut off, or doesn't know what a mini map is, or doesn't see people typing to you. But I'm like, he's on your ass. I'm clicking. I'm like, he's like behind you. He's behind you. He's behind you. And this guy's just. Okay, well, I'm gonna go push up here now. Now the only tanks I got left is one Artie and that VK that needs to be killed. That's behind him. And I'm like, attention, K0, K0, he's behind you, he's behind you, he's on your ass. I'm like, is this guy just, what in the hell is he on? I'm like, what the frig? Is he sleeping when he's playing, or is he just, I had no clue. I mean, I'm like, IS, you have one behind you. I kept telling him, and he keeps driving towards the cap. I'm like, this guy is just out in La La Land or something. So he I think he finally read. You know, I said VK is behind IS, but he's too dumb to read this. He finally frickin' turned around. I'm like, I mean, the match would have been over by now if he would have listened to me, like, you know, 5 minutes ago. I think he actually ends up getting the kill on the guy, too. That KV-123, oh, wicked little gun on that thing. Wicked little gun on that thing. Tier 5, and it'll pop 300 off you. Unfortunately, it only gets 2 heat rounds, which kind of sucks. Penetration kind of sucks. But if you penetrate, yep, 300 off whatever you shoot. And the thing I don't understand is every time I play mine, I'm the lowest one on the team. Every single time. I have not played that tank destroyer and been medium to top of the food chain. I've always been right on the bottom. So yeah, that VK had time enough to go all the way up to our cap. The match would have been over 5 minutes ago if that IS would have listened to me. But yeah, every time I play my KV-103, literally bottom of the food chain every single time. I've never been medium to the high on the matchmaker list whenever I play that. I don't know if maybe it's supposed to be that way. It'll be the first tank I've ever seen that happen, that you're always the low tank on the pole, but every time I play it, I'm at the very bottom of the list. So anyways, they're chasing him down, and they end up finishing him off. And I'm pretty sure it is the IS that finished. I thought it was the IS that finished him. The guy had time enough to drive all the way to our cap, all the way there. And he must have shot up this way, and he goes back up to the cap over here, because our IS runs into him in a minute here. But now, like I said, if the IS would have been reading, that's why it's so important for you to look at your mini-map and try and read when people are putting messages down here to you. And there he is, all the way back at his cap. So he drove literally all the way around the map to get back to his cap. So I'm trying to get on the IS. No, the IS didn't take him out, but he gets taken out. You see the shells flying in. But anyways, that's why it's so important to really pay attention to your mini-map. And I mean, you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. But I usually keep mine right about there. Somewhere in there. I think right about there. I still can't get that damn XSplit. I got on the internet, Googled how to remove it, and then I go to the settings where you're supposed to be able to remove it. There's no settings there to remove it. So I don't know how the hell I got it turned on, but I cannot figure out how to get it turned off. So it kind of covers up my mini-map, which sucks. But it only does it when I'm making a video, so I mean, it doesn't affect me, obviously, when I'm just playing a match. Anyways, we end up finishing this map off, and, or match off, and, you know, so I had a pretty decent, finish with this one here, just a little over 2,000 damage, so I'll stop this one here, and I'll play the next one, and, you know, just hopefully this will kind of help you figure out if you want to get it or not, so I'll be right back. Guess who? Woo! So this time we got Siegfried Line. And got me on top of the matchmaker list again, which was nice. So far, 2 matches. Well, actually, I had a third, but I don't even want to show that one. That one, I'm at a Pilot truck stop right now. And they have free Wi-Fi. Should say shitty Wi-Fi. That's why it must be free, because it sucks. I mean, I got going in the match, literally it kept disconnecting, reconnecting, disconnecting, reconnecting, and my tank, I couldn't, it was to the point where, I mean, I would start trying to back up so I didn't pull out in the middle of a street or something, and it would disconnect, reconnect, next thing I know, I'm sitting in the water. I was like, shit. So, I think we won that match anyways, but I believe 3 out of 3 matches so far, we've won that when I played this, so 3-0 in this, and I do a pretty good amount of damage on this one too. I think this is the one where I do 2,400 damage. I at the end of the match, or towards the end of the match, I got a little overconfident and made a really bad mistake, and ended up paying for it. But we ended up winning the match, thank goodness. But here again, you know where people are going to go, so you get up here and just pre-aim in, and there's KV-3 was nice enough to drive right into my shell for 395 damage. There's that T-150. He missed. And I hit him for 442. I'm like, oh, nice. I mean, 442, I'm knocked off him, you know, in a tier 7 tank. Thought I was going to be able to get a shot on that E-25, so I kind of creep forward, aim in, and good German, or excuse me, good Russian gun handling there. I shoot the building. I knew I was going to take that hit. I wanted to get him kind of locked in there, so I'd knocked his track off, and I backed up where he couldn't shoot me. But guess what? I can shoot him. So I knocked him out, so I'm up to 1,247 damage, and 1 kill so far. And I come around on that 150, and watch this. Let's zoom in, and I don't know what happened to that shell. It looked like it hit actually the top of the his tank, the fuel air, or whatever, and bounced off. But he shoots me, and I ended up penetrating him, leaving with just a few hit points, and then I don't know if I either rammed. I know I caught him on fire. Yeah. So I caught him on fire for 2 hit points of damage. So when I rammed into him, it ended up, I thought it was a ram kill, but ended up that's one of them that I caught on fire for all of 2 hit points. Too bad he didn't have a fire extinguisher that he would have had to have used too, and then it would have burned anyways, but would have wasted 20 grand on his account. Saw this little dude up here. So it hit me in the track, so that's why that one there bounced, but I kind of ignore him because I see the T1 Heavy. And I figure I'll go for that T1 Heavy. And beautiful shot right into his track. So if I've been lucky with that, whatever was back there shooting me in the tracks and bouncing off the tracks. So he has 18 hit points, and I know I could ram him. So I'm up to 3 kills, and I'm like, oh, we're just kicking the snot out of him. Let's push him hard. So this is where I got a little overconfident. And I wasn't paying attention, A44, and then this was where I got really stupid. Then I turned my turret back this way. I don't know why I turned my turret that way. I think what happened was when I got shot, it lit up. You know how it shows kind of the position? I thought it was showing something from behind me shot me, but it was actually in the front. So I turned my turret around to aim it behind me and shoot whatever was behind me, and it wasn't anything behind me. It was just the way it looked when it lit up. It was actually in front of me. So here my turret's facing backwards in the side, so they had all, you know, side and back shots of the turret. And, yeah, so I ended up paying for that. A little overconfident, pushed it in a little too much, and got myself killed, so... We ended up winning this match anyways, so I'll go ahead and stop her now. But I did 2,039 damage. That it shows. I thought I did a little more than that. I think this is the one where I did 2,400. Well, you'll see it in the post-game stats for one of them. I only got the post-game stats for one of the replays because being that the internet was so wonderful for free at this pilot, I had to restart my computer, reset the internet, and then use my phone as a hotspot to get internet because it just was not going to happen using the Wi-Fi here at this pilot, because it's nice of them to give, you know, free Wi-Fi, and, you know, people use it to watch movies, which ruins it for people like me who just want to you know, play games. You know, you get these guys, everybody streams, and when they stream their you know, movies and stuff, your ping is just so crap, it's not even funny. But anyway, so I ended up hooking up my phone using it as a hotspot, and that's why I lost the results of that last battle. So I can only show the results of one. But, so yeah, if you are able to penetrate and you hit a target and not miss it, yeah, you can cut some chunks out of their health pretty darn quick. But yeah, the gun handling on this is it ain't the best, which is, everybody's, you know, you're used to it. Everybody's used to Russian guns having that piss poor accuracy. So anyways, you guys take it easy, and just hold on for a second for the post-game stats. So, on the Battle on Siegfried line, that was a Master Baiting Badge Class 2. Fire for Effect, Arsonist, I caught somebody on fire. Burn, baby, burn! Duelist Bruiser, and a High Caliber. So let's see what kind of damage this gun does. KV-3, I hit him once, knocked out his radio operator, and hit him for 395, and the average damage on this is 390, so only 5 over. KV-85, I knocked out his fuel tank, did 777 damage to him, but he's the one I think I caught on fire. Because I don't believe I actually shot him twice. I think I shot him once, and the rest was damage from him burning. T-150 hit him in the track and destroyed his fuel tank and did 830 damage. Did I light both those two on fire? I think I might have lit both those two on fire. We'll have to really pay attention to the replay a little more next time so I can see. But and the T1 Heavy, I hit him once, knocked his track out, and did 404. So pretty much for the gist of it, hitting for right around the standard damage that the gun does. But it's nice when it's your top dog and you schmuck somebody in 3/4 to half their hit points are gone in one shot. I mean, you knock 400 off hit points off something that's only got, you know, 600 hit points. It's like they're crapping bricks. So I did the most damage with 2,406 damage, got 3 kills, and 908 was my experience. The stock experience for that one, so that's pretty good actually. And got the high caliber for that. I had 10 shots, 8 hit, 6 pens. I got hit 9 times, 7 out of the 9 pen, 2 bounce for 110 damage. So that's telling me it was a low caliber gun that was bouncing off me. I spotted 1, damaged 4, destroyed 3. And that round there, I shot all premium rounds and still made 20,397 credits. So that's actually pretty good. I think I did have one of my personal reserves popped for extra experience, but nothing to do with extra money making. So, on that note, this is Tank and Trucker. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like button down below and subscribe. We're up to 30, and so we only need 70 more people. 70 more people, and I'll be giving away a tank of your choice. And for whoever comes in first place on that, second place is going to get 2 million credits and 2,000 gold, and third place will basically get some premium time, like 30 days. So basically, it's nothing to do like the competition to get first, second, or third. It's basically whoever gets picked first, and then second, and then third. So it's just basically popping your names out of a hat, and if you're picked first, you're first place. So once I hit 100 subscribers, we're going to go ahead and do that. So get your friends to subscribe, and I think I'll do a pretty, or at least try to do a pretty good job on this channel with giving you descriptions of the tanks and some gameplay. I don't go out and play 25 or 30 games and then pick the best 2 matches I had doing 4,000 and 5,000 damage, and then highlight those in my replay so people are like, oh wow, that tank, I did 4,000 damage, man, that thing's a mean machine, I gotta go buy that tank right now. I consider myself a pretty decent player. I've got blue stats. There's a lot of players that are way better than me, and there's a lot of players that are way worse, so I look at myself kind of right in the middle. So when I take a tank out and I do a review and I show you that replay for that tank, kind of hopefully that's going to be pretty much how you're able to do in that tank, as just an average player. So anyways, get your friends to subscribe, and maybe they'll learn some new stuff on tanks. I've got my email address in the description below. If you ever have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message, and I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible if I'm, if I'm on a route, or not a route, but if I'm on a run across the U.S. going from Maryland to California, which has happened before, and, it's not easy to get on the internet. Sometimes it may take a couple days to get back with you. I try and check my cell phone, too, though. But I normally get back, with anybody that has a question within, a couple days to a couple hours. So, feel free to shoot me questions. If you want to, team up and run with me, or, just let me know, and we'll try and get you in our team speak or whatever. We're also looking for members to join our clan. So, if you don't have a clan and you're looking for one, man, feel free to, shoot me a message and try, and we'll get you in the clan, because we're looking for a lot of people. We want some good players, but we're also looking for some new players that are just getting into tanks, so we can train them and, show them how to play tanks. And we're going to be doing a tournament here, starts in January, and hopefully we'll be able to win a couple prize tanks, and maybe you'll be in our clan by then. So you guys take her easy, be safe, and I will see you on the battlefield.